not too many questions today. Decided to keep it light. Um, I was gonna have us do. You'll see a preview at the end of player upgrades versus downgrades, which will be a fun segment. It'll probably be a whole podcast episode. We'll see. But we'll get to that next week, right before Oxnard, probably. But
It's coming.
since Oxnard's brought up now, start with the first question. Who are you most looking forward? What player are you most looking forward to see in Oxnard and like have the most expectations for or curiosity, whatever it may be? Who are you most excited to watch this year? I'll go first. You know, I didn't really think it through, but um, I think mm, there's a lot of options. I think I'm gonna go with Guyton only because I want to see what he's looking like because he says he took a step. He said he's eating better and all those things. So I want to see if that can really translate. Um, I guess this Oxnard. There's I'll say the most exciting player. It's kind of basic. That's why I didn't go with it. Is Pickens. I think that's the most exciting player that we'll be looking forward to see. But off of a different standpoint and curiosity standpoint, I'm going to go with Guyton.
Good. Okay. I'm following Peyton's train of thought here, but I am going to go with Booker.
Mm.
Everything I'm reading, everybody's talking like he's a monster, there was something that was talking about like he'll get on guys if they don't hold the pads right. If they don't because he wants to get the most out of every drill. And then they were just said that when you see him, the eye test, he looks he's ginormous. So I'm going to say Booker because it is so vital for the our offensive line. So I'm going to say our offensive line in general too, because I'm like Guyton unfortunately seems to be the weak link so far. Hopefully he's not. Hopefully he becomes a strength. But for me, I'm really curious. I want to see how Booker, and then I guess the obvious choice for me would been Dak Prescott to see if um, he's he now has a ton of tools. Hopefully, he can make it happen. So go ahead, David.
Um, I think, and I've shared the story like the years ago. I think it was when Peyton had that surgery on his foot. We're in California, and you guys took off. You guys had to get back, and I just beelined it to Oxnard.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to the kids, the boys, like, I'm like, hey, why don't I'm gonna go check out the defense, and they're like, see ya. But they all eyes were on Des Bryant.
Uh,
And so and nothing fascinated them more. And so I'm kind of I'm going to be honest, there's nothing more, I can talk about span forward. I want to see the tight end stuff. I want to see the running back stuff. I really want to see the defensive ends, but if I were to be honest, I want to see Pickens and CD as they're supporting each other. That's what I want to see.
yeah, like to
That
have Germany.
it's just the way it just that's bottom line. That's electric. There's nothing that will be more electric than that.
Yeah,
Especially if they're destroying the defense, because defense always takes advantage of the offense first. But if Pickens and CD are making plays, you're right. That gets people pretty excited.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I am jacked up. Even more so if we would have gotten that rookie T Mac.
Oh man.
Pickens is proven. He's
Yeah.
proven. So
I'll say this real quick. Since you brought it up, it kind of reminded me who I was originally going to go with. Um, it was actually a guy on the defensive side of the ball, and the player I'm most excited to see throughout Oxnard is Kira Long, our new traded cornerback, because he flashed a little bit in minicamp, and even though I'm a big Diggs guy, Diggs is my guy, and um, sadly we don't know when he's going to be back, and I like what Alam was doing, and I'm really curious to see if he can keep it up and if he can step into a starting role this year and finally be that first round pick. So, but
yeah, yeah, I'll admit that I was thinking he was going to be garbage and he's been looking good, but also we haven't seen him with pads on, but
yep.
that would be a huge plus if he turns out.
Yeah. Well, we'll jump to number two. Um, who was your favorite free agency signing? I know we're getting to this a little bit late. Um, but um, yeah, I mean, and this obviously no trades. This is just free agents from free agency. Um, so with that being said, no Pickens. Um, I think the I think which signing surprised me the most and excited me the most are two different ones. I think what surprised me the most, like kind of just shocked me, was Javonte Williams, only because I just I've always been a huge fan of Williams. I always loved Williams. And it took me like a week to even process. All of a sudden, I was like, wait, we got Javonte Williams. That's pretty cool. Um, and I don't know if I think I was still so mad about Braun Schottenheimer. I just was like, I don't give a crap who we sign. We suck. Dallas sucks. But that one surprised me the most. But the one that excited me the most was Solomon Thomas. Just because I mean he's our only multi-year deal, and he's a big name, even though he hasn't lived up to his potential. He's still a big name. He can be a really good rotational piece, and he can kind of replace that leadership role that Lawrence left.
So you stole my guy. Solomon Thomas is the guy I am so excited for. Um, I think he's coming in with his defensive coach. I think they're going to rotate him. He's going to be fresh. Um, I think he is going to be an absolute monster. And I think he's going to make Osa better. I think he's
Yeah.
going to drive Osa. Um, and then I see times when it's a passing down that he's going to be in there next to Osa.
Mhm.
Um, and so I think he is going to be huge. I was super excited about him. Um, and so that's who I'm hoping for to take off. But I will say, in my back of my gut tells me that linebacker from the Bears.
Uh,
I don't know if he's the great white hope, but I am so excited about him for some reason.
Hey,
I think
you can't steal my guy.
okay.
No, no, keep going, keep going.
No. Well, I guess that means none of us get two picks now. Um, so I'll stop there. I really like him. I like what I hear. He's the one I'm super excited about, but I feel like Solomon Thomas is going to be absolutely big for us.
No, I like everything that you guys said. The Chicago linebacker is definitely my guy. Um, the reason being, and I know that I'm a homer on this, but some of the guys I really listen to Brian Broaddus a lot and Vach and their show that they do together. And out of all the guys, um, this guy seems seems to have the most potential. He's not going to go crazy. He's not going to be, the a crazy Ray Lewis or some crazy linebacker, but he seems to have the best chance to really being highly successful. And in fact, if we go back to the other question of who do we want to see, I want to see this guy. I
Yeah.
really do want to see how, the guy that we got from Tennessee, he's kind of a hot and cold type of guy.
Hmm.
And we just don't know. But this guy from Chicago seems just solid, just like all around solid. And so I'm really he's the one guy that seems to Eberflus had him in Chicago. Um, I just want to see what he does.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, First name that I kind of excluded since we've seen him before, but I do want to bring up is Dante Fowler. I know he's been with us before, only a year ago, but he's coming off of his best season of his career, 10 and a half sacks with Washington. I mean, I think it's almost criminal how under the radar he was going. I mean, out of every free agent, he had the most sacks last year out of any of the defensive line free agents. So I think it's criminal that no one's really giving him his flowers. And I think he's a guy who I've always liked him. I think he's a big loyalty guy. He came to Dallas for Quinn. And now that Quinn kind of stabbed him in the back, he came back to Dallas because Dallas is kind of where he, in a way, kept his career going. So I think he's going to do big for us this year, and I think we're going to see him hopefully re-sign again and play, I don't know, 2 or 3 more years with Dallas. But he's a guy who I would say keep an eye on because he could potentially even be the other starting D end. So,
No, I think he was a highlight pick. When we got him the first time
mhm.
under my brain's dead. Who was our
When
previous? Yeah,
But
Quinn. And so when we got him, he was complimentary. He was good, but it seems weird because a lot of the Cowboys writers were very excited about um, what is his name again?
Quinn, Dan Quinn.
No, no, no. What is the defensive player that you're talking about?
oh,
Wow.
Fowler.
Fowler, right. Um, that was the highlight free agency pickup
Oh,
because he's proven these other guys we're hoping the Chicago guy turns out we're hoping Fowler is proven.
yeah,
He's going to I didn't pick him because I thought it was more of an obvious pick.
exactly. Yeah.
But he is the most talented
Hmm.
free agent that we picked up by far.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm especially excited to watch him against Quinn. I hope he releases some anger against the commies.
Well,
Well,
But
you saw how pissed off he was, right, when he
oh,
wasn't getting signed, and then all of a sudden Dallas signed him.
yeah,
So
it was
he was
cra
like, "What the freak?"
Yeah, I would be pissed too. Come off your best season in your career, and they're like, "Nope, we don't want you."
10 sacks.
God. And they don't
Yeah,
even have anyone else. I mean, they have Armstrong, but they don't have that great of depth at defensive end. That's what's crazy.
yeah,
he makes. I thought I'm very much hoping and pulling for Sam Williams
Mhm.
to have a great year,
yeah,
but we had a good defensive end room, and he makes it a great end room. So
yeah,
Plus Donovan Ezeraku.
yeah, I I mean
for
yeah,
sure.
and Nealand. I mean, so
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for the kneeling plug.
Nealon can take a knee on the sideline. Alrighty, we'll jump to the next one. Well, I guess we kind of did both of those. Which free agent will have the most impact? Um, I'll kind of continue my train then, and I'll just stick with Fowler. Um, I think out of all them, like you said, David, most proven guy. I think he will probably have the most, yeah, direct impact in the no noticeably, I would say.
Um, I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna go with the linebacker from the Bears. Is he is he just for 1 year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the linebacker with Bears.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Fowler.
Nice. Perfect. All right. Well, jump to another free agent one. I know free agency is basically over, but there are still free agents out there. So if you could sign one more as an addition to our team to help us out, who would it be? No, there's, I think, zero free agent defensive tackles. So,
Right.
um, mine, hands down, Amari Cooper. I'm happy for Pickens. I'm excited for Pickens, but man, my heart got torn out when the reunion died. But I realistically, I know it's not possible, but it should be a possibility. I mean, if you brought in Cooper, man, could you imagine Cooper at a three? I mean, my goodness gracious. He's still, it would be perfect because there's no pressure on him. There's no pressure on Lamb. Like he can just come in, he can still contribute, not have to be a lead guy, and finish his career out with the team that made him Amari Cooper. Um, so I still hope and pray for a reunion one day. So that would be obviously I would say D tackle, but there's no one, so Cooper would be my guy.
Uh, a comment on Cooper. Love Cooper. I don't know if I want him taking reps from the young guys, but he would be fun to bring in, and you wonder if he would bring calm the room, right,
Mhm.
and be a safety net for Dak.
Yeah.
Um, I that's what I see him being a safety net underneath stuff. But I would. There's so many young explosive guys that I would love to see, but we have to find a defensive tackle. We are so screwed if we don't get a defensive tackle. So I know there's not one out there, but I'm praying that somebody gets cut. So I'm
Um,
still going defensive tackle.
yeah. Yeah. I think we all are on the same page. Tech one defensive tackle.
hmm
That's what I'd want more than anybody. But and then I will comment on Amari Cooper. I wanted Amari Cooper so bad because I thought that's all who we can get. When we got Pickens, I went screw Amari. Um, the only reason is because the guy's 24. Amari was cool, but like the only thing that concerned me were there were games that he just like checked out.
hmm
And I don't think that's the substance that you want as far as a leader.
Yeah.
I think the fact that Coop Pickens and I was thinking Dak was on this little thing that he was quoted, and he said these two guys, CD and Pickens, love each other, and I don't think Pickens got that in Pittsburgh. And CD's not old, but he's taken this guy underneath his shoulder, and
hmm
and I think it's the greatest thing in the world, and it allows CD to be that leader, that number one guy instead of Amari,
Yeah.
because CD's nice, and he would let Amari kind of be that guy.
hmm
So I think it's good that CD is that leader with Pickens, who seems to adore him.
Yeah.
But the free agent that I would want is Asante Samuels,
Oh.
the corner. He's hurt.
hmm
If he got healed up, I think we still need some depth there because
Yeah.
there's the guy that we had, what is it, Gilmore, uh,
Oh yeah.
that we've kind of wanted. I would want Asante Samuels
Yeah.
Jr. more
Hmm.
because he's young and he would be a nice steal at corner.
Yeah. Well, and he's a nickel.
Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, I would love him too. Um, two other comments I'll say. Um, I'll say this first off. Another guy that call me crazy, but I don't understand why we don't take a chance on Isaiah Bond.
yeah.
He's young. It's one allegation. I know it's a big deal, but look at Judkins. There's plenty of other people getting the same allegations. And I'm sorry, he hasn't been proven guilty, so why not give the guy a chance? You can sign him for literally next to nothing. He has nothing else going for him, and just see what he can do. At worst, you put him on the practice squad. Um, so he's a guy I really wish Dallas would take a chance on. Um, and then secondly, this is kind of a funny story. I told my dad about this. I have this friend who he thinks he knows football, but he we were talking about players one day, free agents, and I brought up Amari Cooper. He goes, "Oh yeah, Amari Cooper would fit good with Dallas and stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, it'd be a nice reunion." He goes, "Played for Dallas?" It was just one of those moments where you just look at someone and you're like, are you special?" Because it was just, I mean, I don't
I thought he
like
just played for the Raiders. Yeah.
that's what I was just processing. I'm like, okay, he sucked with the Browns. He played half a year with the Bills, and like he was okay with the Raiders, but he played the longest and his best career seasons with the Cowboys. So I'm like, how did you not realize that? But it was just a funny moment.
That is funny.
But any other comments on this one?
Give me a defensive tackle.
Same, same.
Alrighty. We'll jump to the next one. This one's for David. Could Span Ford potentially be our future franchise tight end? Um, he's a stud in the making. I'll say this. Me and my dad have had a lot of conversations on tight ends, and Dallas has continued to trend. They are very good at signing tight ends later and drafting them mid-round. They're going to continue to pump tight ends until they can't anymore. I like Ferg. I think Ferg's good, but the truth is we're not going to bring him back. We have guys like Pickens and Bland and way too many other people we have to sign. Ferg's gone next year. That's just the truth. Um, so next in line would obviously be Shoemaker since you wasted a second on him. But I'm sorry. I think he is going to suck. He's already sucked and he's going to suck even more. So I think I'll answer it this way. Is Spanford going to be our future franchise tight end? I don't think so. Because I think he's going to have 2 good years with Dallas and they'll let him walk. But I think the next 2 years, he's going to be very good and look very good with us.
I do think Spanform's going to have a great season. He's going to surprise a lot of people. I don't know if he becomes a superstar. I mean, he has the height and weight and the blocking. But I think where he's going to be special is people are going to be trying to shut down Ferguson, CD and Pickens, and he's going to be streaking down down the middle of the field, and I think he's going to burn a lot of people. But Peyton and I, we have this talk all the time that Dallas can only pay certain positions, and they know what they draft well, and they do draft tight ends well. So I don't think they'll ever pay a tight end unless he becomes incredible. But I do like what we're seeing, but I think he'll do some great things. I don't think he will be as he's not going to the Pro Bowl.
Um, yeah, I think you guys are both on crack. Because Spanford is the future.
Heck yeah.
No, I think that um no, Ferguson's gonna be fine. Ferguson's good. I think that he's not gonna he's not gonna take over for Ferguson. I do think Ferguson's gonna have a bounce back year. I think if you're basing on money, you guys are probably right. Um, but the playing time, just mere playing time, Spanford is a better blocker than Ferguson. He's a better blocker than stupid. I'm not even, the words won't even come in my mouth of his name. And um, so he blocks better than both. Like I told you, that I was reading a thing where Spanford wakes up Ferguson and says, "Dude, let's work out. Let's go work out." And so he's a workout junkie. Travis and Peyton, you should love that. And and he's starting to catch balls, but just the mere fact that he blocks better than both of those clowns. Okay, Ferguson's not a clown, but I think just that alone. I mean, 6'7", he's starting to catch the ball. His first year, no, his first year, Broadus, one of the scouts said he had the worst. He had the worst training camp of any player, of any rookie.
Really?
And so he was like going, cut that sucker. But throughout the season, he started playing well, and then the last end of the season, he it clicked. Everything clicked for him. And I again, I'm not saying superstar, but I'm just saying because of all of his intangibles, he's going to play more than both of those guys.
Yeah.
So he's just a stud,
Hmm.
and I want to see him. And going back to the first question, who do I want to see? I want to see him.
Yeah.
I want to see what he does.
Yeah. I
I
agree.
just I just can't pull for a guy that has a hyphen in his name.
Yeah.
Does he have two moms? What?
I know. I'm like when I've been starting to call him Ford,
Yeah, yeah,
but we always have it with Span Ford.
yeah. We know what kind of contract he's gonna get if he turns out to be a superstar.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I'm with David. I'm on the Spanford hype train, but I try not to get too excited because it seems like we haven't re-signed a tight end in a while. But
I mean,
uh,
what I want a really cool, like big giant, like like a, Kellen Winslow, kind of type of guy. Yeah, I want. I don't think he's that. If we got one of those guys, I'd be, through the moon. I'd be so happy. And so he's not that guy.
mhm,
I'm just happy that he here this unrestricted free agent rookie has made our team.
yeah, I agree. Well,
Yeah.
he was supposed to get drafted too. That's what was crazy.
Yeah.
Um, we'll jump over to my dad's all-time favorite segment, player predictions.
Do Spawn.
We'll start off with your D tackle, Dad. The cavalry has arrived. Barry and Winfrey. Another three tech. But
He's not making his cut.
he was MVP, just like Turpin. Um, he had, I think, 3 sacks. Former fourth round pick. He's actually really young still. He's like only 24, surprisingly. Like the Browns gave him a season and cut him. It's kind of crazy. Um, so if there is a guy to make it, this guy could make it. He's actually decent. He's decent at in the run game. I wouldn't say stopping the run game, but he's good at getting tackles. But I think he's a guy who can potentially actually make this team, but he won't contribute in the way we want or need a D tackle to contribute.
I agree. We need a one technique, and hopefully he does get some playing time. I just think we have too many threes on the team, but
Yeah.
hopefully he does. I mean, you pull for guys like that. You want to see guys like that do well. So hopefully something turns out.
What does Solomon play?
Three.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
said
seems
that
kind of congested there.
they were
Mhm.
showing the weights, and I think this Winfrey is 270, and so is Osa, and they have Solomon Thomas. They have him at 256 listed, and then the guy got on. He goes, he's not 256. He goes, that is the biggest bunch of crap. He goes, I've watched him. He's not 256, but they have him listed at 256, and I'm like, how are you playing defensive tackle at that? You can't even play that at end. So
Um, I don't know. This guy, there was something that I was reading that, why they were saying that he's one of those guys that just defensive tackle is one of the hardest positions. Kind of like Mozzie, your guys' favorite. Um, he has been hurt, um, and they say it takes a good 3 years to see a defensive tackle kind of, other than if you're like the Hall of Fame guy from the Rams. But um, the so they said that when his first stint in the NFL, he just wasn't quite there.
Mhm.
Having the time in the UFL and then coming back, I actually think that he does have a shot.
Heck yeah.
And so, again, I know that we're congested there, but I just think that he might be a late bloomer. I'm hoping for it. Again, I wish he was a Tech One.